Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I've got a really big weekend coming up. I'm holding a charity event in my home for people I know, for people who live locally to me. I'm raising money for the Alzheimer's Society. So I'm basically going to display lots of paintings. I've collected a fair number of paintings over the last couple of years. I sell some, but I've got a lot left. So I'm going to sell them for the Alzheimer's Society to try and raise as much money as possible. Now, the Alzheimer's Society has a symbol of a forget-me-not flower, a blue flower, and it's really pretty, it's really sweet. So, of course, I'm going to do a painting of the Alzheimer's Society forget-me-not symbol. So, really excited to get started. So, I'll include a picture of the symbol here. And you can see that I've created a stencil of that symbol. So let me show you the base first of all. The base is just white and silver. I just put a little bit of paint on the canvas all over, and then I just used a brush, so I've got lots of brush marks on it, and it's beautiful. So the white is really shiny. The silver, you can see the iridescence through. I just wanted a white base, but something that was quite simple and quite subtle. So then I've covered my canvas in frog tape. I've drawn on the outline of the flower, and then using my craft knife, I've just very gently cut the tape away. I've then heated up the tape just to make sure that it seals, so it sticks down really well, because I'm now going to pour on everything that you see as white here at the moment. I'm going to swipe. I'm going to start with darker blue in the middle of the flower, and then lighter blue, and I'm going to swipe outwards to try and get a bit of a gradient of the flower, and then do some very dark, I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the middle, but something very dark. So the colours I've chosen, they're all quite similar. I've got 4 different shades of blue. So I've got cerulean blue, this is King's blue, but I've added some phthalo blue to it. This is phthalo blue, and this is manganese blue. And I've added in all of these colours. I've added some of this, which is coconut milk hair serum to create, which is an oil. So I want to create some cells when I swipe. So as I said, I want the darker colours in the centre and then the lighter colours on the outside, and I'm going to swipe outwards. So I think I might just start with the lighter, the cerulean blue first. I'm just going to drizzle it on. I want a bit of a gradient, so I want the colours to mix and blend a little bit, so I'm not going to put solid bands of the colour down. And then I want dark here, but I also want cells. So I think what I might do is put the 2 darkest ones down, not just the 1 darkest. So hopefully I will see some cells, albeit very dark cells. And I think I'm going to do the same in the centre. Have the 2 dark colours, so they'll just be quite subtle. Right, there's lots of gaps, so now I'm just going to dab the canvas so it will just help the little gaps to blend and cover, so there will be the whole of the white will be then covered in paint. All my canvas is covered now, so I'm ready to swipe. So I'm going to swipe that very central part first. I'm using just a really thin plastic, and I've just cut a thin strip. So I think what I'm going to try and do is a bit of a swirl around the centre. How shall I do it? No, how am I going to do that? That's not going to work. Let's just swirl in little lines. Right, yeah, quite happy with that. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the outside. Swiping. I'm going to put my plastic in the centre and then just swipe out in all directions. Each time I'm going to wipe my plastic. So all these colours are just going to start to blend. Right, that's all my swiping done. The cerulean blue, I forgot, it's really, really reactive. So I can already see there's lots of cells popping up with the cerulean blue. So I'm now going to torch this, and this will be the moment of truth to see if I'm going to get this gradient, because at the moment it looks very dark, but I'm hoping that lots of lighter will come up around the edge when I torch. Right, it's definitely worked. I've definitely got a darker band in the centre, and then it definitely gets lighter. There is a graduation, but there's also lots of streaks. So I do have one streak here with hardly any other blues in it, but I think that's okay. The centre is really pretty. So I thought I'd finished, but I've decided I haven't. And the reason is that I really like these little blue cells from the cerulean blue. So I'm actually going to be a bit daring. I'm actually going to put some more paint on and re-swipe it. And I'm going to introduce a little bit of this cerulean blue everywhere, because I think those little cells are really, really pretty. I think what I maybe need is not worrying about the graduation of the colours so much, but actually just a bit more variation in the colours, because it is going to dry darker. So just to get more variation but everywhere. So I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to do what feels right, which is just to re-swipe it and see what happens. I could regret it because I was reasonably happy with what I had there. I guess I'm just worried that it's going to go really dark when it's dried. Right, that's all my cerulean blue used. So I've got a little bit of the King's blue left. Let's pop some of that on. Right, I think that's plenty of paint. Let's re-swipe, see what happens. Wow, I don't know if you can see this, but that cerulean blue, oh my goodness, I might regret this now, because it's just exploding with cells. I think I'm happier. It's not perfect, but I think I'm happier. There's a lot more variation over the entire flower, and it's a lot lighter And I think that will, when it's dried, I just think that will work better. That will show up better. There's a few big blocks of the cerulean blue now, but I think by the time I've taken the tape away, I think it will look really pretty. So you can see the cerulean blue here. Here it's the lighter blue. It just creates some really crazy looking cells. So not just cells that you get with the silicone in there or the oil in it, but they're much more natural looking cells, much more organic cells. So I think it's to do with the type of paint. It's a different brand to the other brands. So I think it just reacts differently, because look, you can see they're not just silicone cells. They're surrounded by silicone cells, but they're much less, it's like a little flower. It's so pretty. They're much more natural looking and organic looking, which I think I quite like. So yeah, I'm quite excited. I've definitely got that darker band. I'm quite excited to see how this ends up, how this dries. I'm now ready to do the flower. So I've taped off around the flower, so that I'm just protecting the blue underneath. So the colours I'm going to do for this are, I've got a yellow, an orange and a gold. I don't want very much paint at all. I'm going to swipe it again. So it's the same consistency as the blues, the same mixture, and also the same oil in it to create some cells. So I'm going to do a swipe exactly the same way. Now, if you look at the symbol, you've got yellow around the middle and it's a little bit more orange on the outside. So I think I'm going to put yellow and gold near the middle, tiny bit of orange around the outside, and then I'm going to swipe inwards. I'm going to get too much paint in the centre, so I'll then have to start removing it, but I think that's fine. So again, I'm just going to drizzle it on exactly like I did with the blue flowers. Right, let's just torch that. If I'm not happy, I can redo it. Right, my instinct is that it is far too orange. That orange is just too bright. Right, what I'm going to do, the orange is too dark for what I'm wanting. I'm going to mix a bit of the orange and a bit of the yellow together to make just a much paler yellow, much paler orange. So if I just put a little bit of the orange in there and then a little bit of the yellow and see what colour I get. I can't see any gold really. Yeah, that's much softer already. That is a much better colour. I'm going to just try and pick some of this up. And then just go again. So you can just see it's subtle. It's yellow, just with some subtle orange over the top. Yeah, really hoping that, yeah, that will be right, that will work. So here's the final painting. I'm midway through my charity event. So I held it yesterday and it's going to happen this afternoon as well, my open studio. So hence all the paintings in the background. Let me show you this piece because I'm so happy with it. The blues are just gorgeous, really pretty. Love the massive contrast with the yellow section there. I've gone around with my Posca pen around every single edge just to really define it. I've created a border, so I used one of the blues in the painting, I think it was the manganese blue. I painted on the edge and then did a black sort of sharp line around it. I love this background because it's subtle, it's really subtle, but it just looks like a kind of explosion from the centre outwards. So all the lines stem out from the centre of the flower. Now this, I used my Cricut machine. Can you see hopefully you can see it's a bit sparkly. It's a sparkly black, it's so pretty. I've tried to use the same font that the Alzheimer's Society use, and their slogan is United Against Dementia. So really happy. So this is going outside my house so that when people arrive, they know they're at the right house. So really, really pleased. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave me any comments, any thoughts you've got about this piece. I hope you're all having a great weekend. Bye.